Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just sitting here basically doing nothing. I went and got my oil changed today finally, and they were very well. Actually, they wasn't as slow as normal because I usually be there about 2 hours, but I was there about 30 minutes. So yeah, I was surprised myself how fast he was. And right now I'm just sitting here talking to you guys. So yesterday I was kind of browsing around Netflix to see what I could watch, and I didn't really see anything of interest. So I was like, let me go ahead and watch Unsolved Mysteries about the Alonzo Brooks case. Because you know how you turn on your Google and then they have these little stories, and then I see his picture, and then I Googled it, and then I was like, well, let me kind of read what they're talking about in this case, because I never heard of it. So I read on it, and yeah, it's a sad case, and I never thought to watch it on Unsolved Mysteries because, to be honest, I hate watching stuff like that. Because you know how you watch scary movies, but then you be like, that wasn't real. That's not real. There's no Michael Myers around here. There's no Jason around here, so I can watch it. But then watching stuff like that, you know it's real life. You know it can happen. So yeah. I was watching this story on Alonzo Brooks. You know, he was Mexican and African American. He was 23, and he went to a party. When was it? April 3rd of 2004. He went to a party with his friends, and I think the party was, I know it was in Kansas. The party was in, I want to say Lasinge County. I think that's how you pronounce it. Lasinge. I think so. It was like an hour away from where he stayed. So he went to a party with his friends, and you know how it is at parties. I'm eating a Sonic burger for right now. But you know how it is at these parties where, you're conversing and drinking and all this other stuff. So, yeah, I guess that was, what was happening. And somehow or another, there was a confrontation between him and a Caucasian man. Yeah, a Caucasian man. So somehow or another, one of his friend, the friend he rode with, ended up leaving to go get some cigarettes, and somehow or another, he ended up at the party by himself. Okay, guys, I'm back. My battery ended up dying on me, so yeah. So the friend that he ended up going to the party with ended up leaving for cigarettes, and he said he got lost. So bottom line, he was up at the party by himself. So fast forward to April 4th, the next morning, and his mama got a phone call, and they asked to speak with him. So she ended up, going to his room. He wasn't there. Calling for him, see if he was somewhere else in the house. He didn't answer. So then, of course, us mamas, we know our kids. We know when something's wrong. And she knew when, something was wrong, because she said that he never, stayed out anywhere. He would always come home. So she called around when she realized, he wasn't there. And she ended up calling his childhood friend. So he went down to where the party was, and he started doing, his own little search. And he found, his boot, like a boot here, a boot there, and, his scully that he wore. So, yeah, you know how it is, especially when you call the police and then they be like, you know how it is. You know, we watch TV. You know, a person gotta be missing for 48 hours before they do something. So, yeah. And the older brother and his sister-in-law ended up going down there as well, you know, a couple days later, just to look around. And then they went to the sheriff's office, you know, met with the sheriff. So, between April 4th, 2004, and May 1st, you know, the police started doing their own search, you know, and there was a creek. They searched the creek. They didn't see anything. Then they called in a dive team, went in the creek, looked, didn't see anything. Then the FBI got involved. You know, nobody saw nothing. So, you know, from that time, of course, you know the frustrations of the family, like, okay, where's my brother? You know, where's my son? You know, and you won't be able to get closure until you find out at least, you know, what happened. You know, whether they're, you know, alive or whether they're deceased, you know. So I can't imagine the pain they went through. So then, okay, so at first they couldn't do their own search because, you know, the police was basically like, let us do our job, you know, stuff like that. So on May 1st, they were allowed to do their own search. So everybody went out, searched, you know, searched the creeks and everything. Somehow or another, they ended up finding him near the creek bed, I believe. And to me, that was kind of odd, especially if the police didn't find him at first. How did he end up, you know, on a creek bed? It was already searched. So that to me was odd. So then, you know, they found him. I believe the uncle found him. Yeah, a volunteer found him. And the uncle called his brother and was like, hey, we found him. So the brother was trying to go, you know, towards him, you know. But, you know, you shouldn't touch, especially in case there's evidence or something like that. So, I can't even imagine. So, turns out, you know, it wasn't no real, like, evidence, or when they did the autopsy, cause of death couldn't be determined. But they did say, like, his neck, basically something was up with his neck. I forgot what it was. But that was basically the only thing that was said. So the cause of death was undetermined. So yeah, I guess the mystery is all the way from April 4th all the way to May 1st when he was found. They found him on May 1st. Mind you, the policemen and the dive team searched for him, but they couldn't find nothing. But as soon as they was given permission a month later to look for his body, or, you know, any signs of him, they found him in a creek bed. And to me, that kind of seems like somebody put him there to be found. That's the only thing I could come up with. So they're trying to make it seem like, you know, he was in the creek maybe, and somehow he just ended up going up to the creek bed. You know how they say the creek and like when it comes to water, you know, like the levels and stuff like that. But somehow or another he could have been in there and ended up in a creek bed or something. I don't think so. Especially when you look at it, and, you know, his mom put out papers and stuff. Wasn't nothing wrong with the paper. Like, the papers he had on him was still intact. He had a card, was still intact. His wallet, you know, none of that stuff had water damage. So he was not in that creek. So my personal theory is they killed him at that party, whoever it was. Then they kind of hid his body. Oh, and another thing was the brother said, like, his color, he still had his color. So I guess they're trying to say that, you know, he was kept in a freezer all this time. And I don't know, it's plausible. So I don't know. y'all should really go see it. It took me a while to even work up the gumption to go see it because yeah, I don't like stories like that, especially dealing with, you know, people of our color and things happening, because, you know, even though it happened like 16 years ago, it's still happening today. And I have an African American brother, I have an African American husband, I have an African American bonus son. So yeah, you saw these things happening to our African American men. It kind of makes you scared, because, you know, I get scared when my husband even goes 20 minutes away. I get scared, and he'll tell you, because when he goes somewhere, I be like, okay, who you going with? At least give me some names. That way, you know, I know who to contact or who name to give to the police. That's how I am. And he might think, oh, you just being overbearing. No, I just know the world we live in now. So yeah, I need to know some information just in case I need to, you know, tell the police something, or in case I need to do my own little investigating, because sometimes your own investigations could go further than the police, in my opinion. Because sometimes I feel like the police may not take it, I wouldn't say as serious, but sometimes you have to. Nothing wrong with doing your own little investigation. I'm pretty sure a lot of people did their own investigation and find out more stuff than they did from the police. So yeah, I mean, as far as, I think it's something to look at, so you can get more, you know, familiar with the story. Cause I had to. Oh, and then this year I read that the FBI getting involved because, you know, Unsolved Mysteries, it kind of, you know, shed a light on this case, and the FBI ended up exhuming his body so that, you know, they can do an autopsy. So I think that's a step. I think that's good, because, you know, that shows, hopefully the family can get some justice, because it's been long overdue. 16 years, nobody's been caught. And I can only imagine the frustrations of his mama, of his family. Yeah, so I just thought I should, you know, come on, tell you guys this story, because it really affected me, being a wife, being a sister, you know. Yeah, we got to look after each other, check in with each other from time to time, tell your loved ones, you know, that you love them every day, because you never know. You can be going to a party one night, the next night you gone off this earth. So yeah, so I hope you like this little tidbit, and if you haven't subscribed to me already, please subscribe, like the video, comment, and hit the bell to be notified whenever I post a video. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and guys, please stay safe out here. So bye guys.